All right. And we are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's question and answer session for the Unit of Prosperity team members. My name is Nikki Witherspoon, and on our panel today we have Bruce and Adrian. Hey, guys. And we're here to help you guys with any particular pro questions or even affiliate questions that you all may have. There is a thread. It's pinned in the UOP group. If you have any questions at all, feel free to type them in there and we'll address them here. Please try to keep it to pro and affiliate. We're trying to keep this easy for everybody and, to help out our new people. I'm going to give you a brief about me. Like I said, my name is Nikki Witherspoon. I joined Domination. I keep wanting to say December, but it was November of last year. I did the bad thing. I sat around on it. I wasted a whole month in quarter 4 nonetheless. I want to slap myself. But, wasted a whole month. But when I jumped on it and ran with it. And primarily I ran with eBay. Did eBay and still do eBay. I still attack my eBay. So, don't get me wrong. I love every program, but I also love eBay. I'm a top-rated power seller on eBay, and I support it. So that's me. I'm going to push this over to Adrian Jolly and let her give you a brief about herself.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Adrian Jolly. I just celebrated a year in DSD, so I'm very excited about that. Woo, 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 woo. But I got started last year, September 26th, and I did the same thing, absolutely the same thing. I sat on it for about a month, probably 2 months, because I let my membership lapse and didn't even realize it, and then I came back and then I sat again because I was just like, eBay, I don't know. But anyway, a year later, I'm at 5 figures. It's so exciting, very excited to be here. Just really, really loving this program, doing well on eBay, doing well on the affiliate side. It has just been all good. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep it brief so we can get to you guys' questions. I'm going to go ahead and hand it to Bruce.
Hey guys, glad you're all here tonight. Just very brief, I'm actually the newbie on the block here. I started with DS Domination in February, actually the first part of February of this year, and excuse me, and jumped out there, pretty quickly. And attacked pro and then upgraded a few times and etc. But it's a lot of fun, exciting. I own another business, and so I really wasn't looking for a business when I saw this. But you probably heard my story. I'm going to keep this real short so we can get to your questions and stuff. But anyway, great opportunity. We're definitely one thing you'll find about the DOP is you always have somebody here to offer you a hand up, and we're willing to help and to serve all the members, whether you're new or you've been around a while. So fire your questions at us, and let's see what we can do.
All right, I have some people saying that the link is not working. I'm going to actually post that link in the group one more time.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so until that point, until we start getting some questions rolling in, because it looks like we have some folks that are they can't be camera shy. So we have some folks that are a little computer shy, keyboard shy. So I say, let's just get on with the getting on. So how about I ask you guys some questions about eBay? Adrian, what's your favorite part about eBay?
That I love because it's easy. The best thing about it is that you don't have to have any inventory. You don't have to, if you're not a team builder, you don't have to recruit. And I love it because it is, after you earn your money fast. I mean, it's absolutely the easiest. I've been in the network marketing industry for a long time, and this has been simply the easiest thing ever to earn an income. It really has for me.
Had you sold anything on eBay or known of it prior to joining DSD?
I did. I was on eBay since the 90s. It's probably before a lot of people around have been born in our team. But learning how to utilize it correctly, that's the whole thing. I would sell stuff around the house. I had a little gift basket business. I tried to do a little bit of something on eBay, and but not with this success. Not earning what I've been earning so far. Not in my wildest dreams back in the day.
And hey, Bruce, did you know about dropshipping prior to starting DSD?
No, not at all. I actually didn't know anything about it. I started completely, I mean, I had an account, but it was basically an empty shell. And I bought a few items here and there and looked around. That was about it. It was, like Adrian said, I've been around network marketing forever and done way too many companies, way too many, things out there, tried this, tried that. But as far as drop shipping now, I never had any experience at all.
And I'm right there in the same boat with you. I've had an account, and it's funny, I didn't even know I had an account. When I went to go sign in, for the first time, it was like, excuse me, you already have something under this email. And I'm like, what? I got a what? I 2000. I think it was 2007 or 2008, and I'm like,
oh, wow.
I didn't know. Now, one thing I did use a lot was PayPal. I have been a PayPal fiend from the moment it came out, so I think that kind of got my account moving in the beginning. So, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to a new person, somebody just starting out, they've watched all the trainings, they might be a little bit intimidated, it's a lot of information, especially if you've got no experience with any type of e-commerce business at all. What is your best advice for somebody who has just finished the training? What direction would you point that person in right when they finish that training?
Get started. Go ahead, make it your focus to go ahead and post your first item. That is your main goal. Don't worry about, I'll just get something simple, even if it's something around the house. Just get it up there, list it, and get going. Don't procrastinate. Don't get an analysis paralysis. Just get that item listed. That is your main goal. And stay small. Don't try to do a $1,000 item, your first item. Stay small until you learn the process. Because that's how you trip up, because you're trying to go too big, too fast. Just do something small, little cat toy, little dog toy, something small, and and build your successes from there.
I'd have to agree with Adrian on that. I mean, I am a pretty typical guy. I thought, it's like having an instruction manual. Okay, this is probably the first time that I actually listened to the instructions. Okay, I actually went through, because I really didn't even know what I was doing with PayPal. It was crazy. I mean, and so I had to, and I kept hearing, if you don't follow the instructions, they're going to shut your account down. Well, I guess that kind of put a boot in my tail, and so I wanted this to work, and the why was there. I just had to follow the steps. The one thing I guess I would suggest, and I'm saying this because this is an area that I didn't do this, as the old saying goes, eat the elephant one bite at a time. Well, what I did was I tried to listen to every single video first, and then go back and try to implement, start the steps to implement and take action. And I think that really confused me, because I had so much information swirling around my head at that point. And when I finally stepped back and objectively looked at things, I went back to square one. I went back to, this is your first step. And the only things that I had done at that point was actually set my accounts up, but I hadn't taken any action steps as far as listing. And so what I decided to do was to take it one step at a time and listen to the video. And when Roger said in the training video, do this step, and I would stop the video. I'd actually open up a separate window, and I would have my DSD back office with the video there. I would have eBay opened up, and if there was something else, Amazon, for example. And so I was waiting in the mode of copying and pasting. I was just trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? And so I'd listen to that part. I'd pause the video. I'd take action on that step. I'd start the video back up, and I mean, I watched the videos over and over and over and over, until I just had to get it in my thick head, and so it was really learning by repetition. And the great part about it is there is a pause button and there's a restart button, and you can do that at any time, and you don't get penalized for it. It's actually a good thing because when you get it, you really get it. So that's my best advice.
I'm right there with both of you guys. Like you guys said, the biggest thing is to actually take action. Don't just watch the videos and then not go out there and start listing or even start doing the research. And then, like you said, Bruce, I did the same exact thing. I had my back office on one tab, I had eBay in another tab, and I had Amazon in another tab. And I literally was just going between all three until I was comfortable enough to continue the process on my own. And, basically whatever works for you out there, as you know how comfortable you are with the computer. So, if you're comfortable with like 20 tabs open, then open them 20 tabs and get moving,
Sure.
Or if you can only do one tab at a time, then, study your back office, take notes, as some people are visual, some people are note takers, whatever works for you, but get that information and start acting on it, start acting on it sooner rather than later, because you can't make a cha-ching if you've not done this right here to get it into eBay. That's one of the biggest things out there. Looks like we actually have some questions. I was starting to think that we weren't going to get any soon. We have a question from Roberta. She says, I'm just starting on the affiliate side. Besides family and on Facebook, how else can I promote? The training mentions Craigslist, but I can't find it on the training. So I'm thinking she can't find the Craigslist training that's out there on the UOP training site itself. Any other suggestions as far as where else she can actually promote past Facebook or her friends and family?
Well, another play. If I might, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump out there. From the affiliate side of things, you'll definitely find the Craigslist training in your UOP training center. If you don't know how to get there, send one of us a message. We're not hard to find. We can put you in the right direction. Just send us a private message, friend request first if you haven't already done that. And then another thing that you can do, I will always promote YouTube, and we have a tremendous amount of people, such as I'll do a couple of name drops here. I've got some videos out there. I know that Josh Jacobs has an awesome video on YouTube in reference to Craigslist ads. I think Sean does, if I'm not mistaken, Sean Agnew. Plug into the people that are really hitting the affiliate side hard and have been successful. You want to look to people that have fruit on the tree, no matter what you're doing. I'll throw that out there, because they're gonna help you. They're gonna steer you in the right direction. And if they don't have the answer, they're going to send you back to a tool or a training video or something that's going to help you. So, but Craigslist definitely works. You can generate a lot of leads very quickly and very inexpensively, very effectively if you do it correctly.
Good point.
You want me to expound on any other affiliate stuff that I use?
Now, Bruce, I know that you've got a nice little handy wallet, and I would venture to say that you've got that wallet somewhere near you.
I probably have it in my pocket.
I would be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
You might want to go over that wallet right quick and just show what you got.
I carry both of these with me. I carry one of them is obviously my regular wallet, but I have all the stuff that everybody else carries in their wallet. But I carry a spare one, and what this one has is I have some business cards in here. I recently changed, and again, I'm not trying to advertise my links or anything like that, but I just wanted to share with you what they look like. And I got these from Vistaprint, by the way, vistaprint.com. They already have a template there, so if you want to go there, that's where they came from. It just simply looks like money. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh,
Try to get it up there, okay?
nice.
Now, here's what I did, and again, we're trying to stay pro here, but all this simply says is earn $200 to $500 a day, okay? I actually have that same exact model of design on magnetic signs on my vehicle. I have one. I actually have a yard sign in my front yard that didn't blow away during the storm. Blew everything else away, but it didn't blow my sign away. That was good. But anyway, and all it says is earn $200 to $500 a day. It's very generic, and then I have my two websites or domains as we call them, and my address, and the two that I have on here. And again, this is a pro training or affiliate training, but the one that I have on here, I've been around sales forever, and so I've always used an either or close. You know, would you like this or this? And you know, instead of saying what do you think or do you like this, I always use this or this, and people have a problem saying no to you when they have a choice in front of them, okay? An either or choice. So what I have on here is the first one on the top is actually to Roger's Pro sales video, and again, not getting too advanced for you, but the other one is for the Genesis sales video. So it's a lot of fun because I don't have to. The great part about carrying this thing is I don't have to explain anything to anybody. All I simply do is hand them one of those. I did it today in Walmart. I was talking to a young lady in Walmart, and we chit-chatting about what I was doing with my phone and stuff. And again, not getting advanced on you, but and she, she was actually helping me. And so she said, "What do you do?" You know, and I told her a little bit, and she said, "Oh, wow." And she said, "How would I do that?" And I said, "Okay, here." And I handed her a business card and just said simply, take a look at the videos and, get back to me. My contact information's there. Okay. Another thing that I carry in this little wallet, this handy dandy wallet, anywhere that I'm at, I carry these little things, okay? What they are is called, there you go. These are great, okay?
Look, I'm looking for mine.
I'm not promoting the fact that you should never talk to anybody because that's not true. I love to do offline marketing. I obviously do a lot of it, but as well as online. But the thing about it, there you go. We all use them, okay? And you can change your messages. I have one that says this is worth way more than $20, etc. And it gets my video. This one here, I won't even tell you what it says because it's not for pro only. But anyway, whenever I'm in a store, I mean, people are going to be, out spending money and shopping this time of the year, and they're getting more into that mode where they're starting to think about Halloween shopping and Thanksgiving. I was in a store today and heard Christmas music, believe it or not. Okay?
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're like marketing for Christmas already. So,
wow.
So are we, but anyway. But, I drop these everywhere. I put them in ATM machines, the slot in an ATM machine. I put them in the slot at gas pumps. I, drop them on the floor. I usually wad them up and, throw them on the floor somewhere. People are going to, because they think, oh, wow, there's money. And that's, why they pick it up. It's a curiosity approach, okay? So if you don't already know where to get those, there's a website, and we don't own this or anything. It's just simply realisticdropcard.com, and that you can actually go in there and design it, put your own message on there. Again, if you don't know what to put on there, ask somebody, will help you. Okay.
And check with your sponsor as well, because they may have a link for you to use. Just make sure you check with them to see if they have a link for you to use for that. But they are fun. I love them. They're just.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were finished.
Fine, go ahead.
Here's a couple other things that I use. This is another thing that I carry in my wallet, and you will find these in the file tab. in the ULP Facebook page. And what these are is this is called motivational check is what it's called in the file tab. And now it doesn't have the writing on it. My handwriting stinks, but it doesn't matter because when somebody's looking, it doesn't matter what you hand them or what you say to them, they're looking. If they're not, you can hand them a gold bar, and they'd probably hand it back to you because they weren't looking, okay? So keep that in mind. If they're looking, anything you give them or talk to them about, they'll grab it. I actually sponsored a couple right here in my own town that I met in the parking lot of a Home Depot, and all I did was I simply said, "Let me give you a check." And they looked at each other like some crazy guy in a parking lot going to hand them a check. Okay, and they'll tell you that story, but it was fun. And so anyway, all this says on it is the pay to the order of. I know you can't see it real well, but it says "you" with a question mark, and then it says the amount 10,000 plus monthly. And it has my domain on it. If anybody else, or if they say, well, what is this? I just simply say, are you interested in making money? And they say yes. And I say, okay. Take a look at that website. That website has a short video on it. It'll give you all the information. When you get finished, I'll give you one of my business cards. Now, here's a little piece of advice. For your own sanity and safety out there in this crazy, crazy world today, I use a Google Voice number. I don't actually give my cell phone number out, and I can set that on Do Not Disturb because they can call you, and all it does is goes to directly. It is free, by the way. So I've given you some free nuggets. I'm looking for something here. Give me just a second. I'm going to look away from my screen for just a minute. I want to show you another flyer, and these things have worked forever. And they still work. Hang on one second.
I'll show you my card in the meantime. I have the same type of cards that Bruce was having, but mine I incorporated a little QR on there. If you guys have heard of that, the QR readers, and by having it, it doesn't really look like it's a whole lot, but it catches your attention when it's on the floor. And this is like a little square, and people use their cell phone and just do that little QR reader on there, and when they do that, it pops right up to my video page. So, on the back, of course, it's got my QR again, and it's just got my basic information. And like Bruce says, I have a Skype number, actually, so it doesn't really come to my phone. But, I've got a special email address that people can contact me on. I've got, my YouTube channel, my Facebook. Everything is on the back side of this card. And, when they do that little QR thing, like I said, it draws people's attention. The DSD colors alone, people look down and like, oh, what's that? Let me scan it. So that's just another option that's out there. But like Bruce Adrian said, go out there and you could pretty much strike up a conversation with anybody and everybody. Another very good tip is if you can afford it, to join the UOP co-op. I've heard nothing but good things about these recent rounds of co-ops. I joined them myself as well, but people have been just boasting about the leads that they're getting from joining this co-op. So that's one of the good things that we have being on the Unit of Prosperity, is all these tools that are right there in our laps, just waiting for you just to take action. So join that co-op. I believe we can post the link in the question group just in case anybody doesn't know it. But, join that co-op if you're looking for, instant leads to come through there. Now, of course, it's your job to go through and do the follow-up with these leads, but, that will most definitely start the ball rolling to start getting some names on your list.
Yeah, also, Jock Morris has been doing live calls, and, all you have to do is sign up for him. You get 25 of them free, Now, the important thing is that you actually pick the phone up and call them, and that's important as well. Here's a back to if you're on a budget, you're in a situation that there's ways of changing that so that you have more dollars to work with in your business if you reinvest it. But before I get on that soapbox, here's a free one. Okay, this came right. Again, I'll move back a little bit so you can see it. That came right from the Files tab in the UOP Facebook page, and what these are little tear tabs on here. Okay. Now, here's another little tidbit that I learned, and this came off of Jock Morris's live call. Is that he actually went to GoDaddy and purchased a domain, and that domain is actually his phone number. Okay. So what I did was I took my Google Voice number, which is free. Okay. I found somebody somewhere, I don't remember exactly, probably in the UOP Facebook page, that said that you could buy a domain for like $1.49 on GoDaddy. I went there and bought it, and so now all of a sudden I have my website address is actually a phone number.
That's an
Okay.
excellent
That's
idea.
genius.
So now, when you first look at it, you think, okay, it's it's a bunch of numbers and it looks like a website. But it doesn't take it's the brain that does the work for the person. If they're thinking, they're going to look at that and say, that's a phone number because that area code is from here, okay? And so they look at it and go, that's a phone number. If that were me, if I was actually looking for an opportunity of business and I saw that and I pulled one of those tear tabs off there. Now again, I hang these on gas pumps, on bulletin boards, anywhere that this thing will stick. I carry double-sided sticky tape in my vehicle with me. I don't care where I'm at. I can stick them somewhere. Okay. Now, if somebody calls you, let's say you stick them somewhere and they really don't want flyers there, and they call you up and say, blah, 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 you shouldn't have stuck it there. Okay, well, guess what? The only thing you're getting is a voicemail, and it goes to your email, and you have a delete key, okay?
Right.
Because every day is not utopia. I live in Texas, not utopia, so, you're going to hear things like that. So anyway, but this thing works. It's worked forever. I spent 25, 30 years in sales management, and I made I don't even know how much money off tear tab flyers. They work, and they're free to you. All you have to do is have a printer and some ink and some paper, and then you have to take action. So with that, there you go.
Ooh, we have another question out here from Tony. Tony says, can we drop ship from sites other than Amazon? That's a big N-O if you are in Pro. If you're in Pro is meant for you to get the business down, to get the business basics down. So Amazon is the easiest form for you to use when you are just learning the business. Now, as you start to expand, you get really comfortable with Amazon, you get really comfortable with eBay, you're making sales, and you can afford to go up to Elite. That's when we tell you, jump up to Elite, upgrade. When you do that, now you're going to get a whole span of new vendors. You're going to get the ability to sell on another platform. You're going to get access to discounts, cashback, and I just can't talk enough about cashback. I love me some cashback, okay? So, you're going to get access to all of these things, but, the point is for you not to move to that level until you are ready. And, none of us can tell you when you're ready. Only you're going to know when you're ready. So when you think that you've outgrown Amazon, then that's when you go back to your back office and you click that little activate button that's sitting right beside your Elite tab and just open your whole world to something completely brand new. Elite also gets you shipping international. And I'll tell you from my experience, the moment that I started doing international shipping, okay, I don't even have a word for it, because most of my sales right now are actually international. Australians love my account. Don't ask me why, but they love my account, and I love to sell to them too. So, that's one of the things. But if you're in Pro, stick with Amazon, and there's reasons that Roger will go into in great detail as to why stick with Amazon. If you're not familiar with the nuances of other websites, you can actually get your account shut down, or people can cancel your orders. It's just not even worth it to go that route. So just stick with Amazon while you're in Pro. When you're ready to get more sites and do your upgrade thing, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, my suggestion on that is when you are in Pro, take your profits that you make in Pro and leave those in your PayPal account, okay, and continue to reinvest, always continue to reinvest back in your business, no matter where you're at, how big you get, how small you stay, whatever the case may be, whatever's good for you. But when you make enough money, Roger says this, if you haven't watched the Pro training, the live training that Roger does, I would highly recommend that you go to that. If once you upgrade to Elite, then obviously you'll have more access to that. But reinvest that profit back into your own business so that it's your business. It's your business. So reinvest it when you're ready, and open up a whole new wealth of information and opportunities to yourself. And then there's a lot more to this business than what you're seeing. And what we're talking about is a real small thumbnail clip. We all started with 20 bucks, and we all started in the same place, and we still use what we started with. I still use the photo cropper in the back office. Every single time I list something, I did it today. I was on eBay today listing, and I did exactly what I learned back in Pro, and obviously some other knowledge that I have through Elite and stuff, but I still use the knowledge, after all this time, and will continue to. So all Pro is designed to do is teach you the basics. Once you have the dollars to move forward, you'll be glad you did.
Cool. We actually have another question.
Wonderful.
I can't believe it. Okay, so Mark said, and I think Mark's question was actually answered in the group, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it anyway, just so that in case anybody didn't see it. He was basically asking about if he makes a purchase off of Amazon, is he supposed to put the tracking number from Amazon into a message to his customer? The answer to that is basically no, you don't have to send it in an actual message, to the customer or to your buyer. Excuse me, let me use the proper lingo here. You don't have to actually send a message to your buyer. There is a field out there under your sold listings that is specifically for your tracking information. And when you put that tracking information into that field, it goes down to the carrier, and it's got a space for your tracking, your ID. When you put that information there, eBay automatically takes note that you shipped that item, and your customer will also get a notification via email if that's how their settings are, that item has been shipped, and then they'll be able to track it, and you'll also be able to track it directly from I think it's your My eBay tab. But yeah, you don't have to I'm not gonna say you don't have to send them a message. You can do whatever you want to, but don't just send them a message. You make sure that you put that tracking number out there on that particular sale or that sold item so that eBay credits you for actually sending it. Otherwise, to eBay, you've never sent it.
Yeah, that's critically important. As soon as you make that sale, whether it be the first one or the 99th one, 10,000th one, whatever the case may be, absolutely process it as quickly as you can. If you have a 3-day handling time, definitely get it processed, and because if you don't, especially with eBay, some of the new guidelines and things that they have right now, you definitely want to get those done, and you want to stay in, and not only that, but 1 out of 3 buyers or 1 out of 5 buyers will come back if you give good customer service. A lot of times, even if they don't like the product, sometimes they'll still come back and say, wow, you really took care of this issue or whatever, and they'll give you feedback, and that really counts in your favor on eBay in a big way.
Oh yeah, especially with the new matrices and everything like that are out there. It is really, really important that you put your tracking information into eBay's system. That's just going to protect you, in the long run, as far as a buyer coming back and asking you a question, or eBay coming back and asking you a question. At least you've got that tracking number in there, and basically you're covered. Ooh, cool. I don't see. use the pause. I'm checking for another question.
Okay, well, while you're checking, I'm going to add one thing that's real important for newbies to really do when they first get started is use the eBay calculator. Please, please, please. Because you want to make sure that you're at profit. I mean, it's just pointless to do all the listing, to do all the research, and then you don't make a profit. Or the fees eat up your profit because you didn't calculate it right. So that is so important. If I don't say anything else on this hangout, please, please, please get the calculator. There we have documentation, I think, in the file section of the UOP. Anybody get to your sponsor if you don't know how to use the calculator. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty user friendly. But when you first look at it, sometimes you're like, what in the world? It's got too much going. Get with your sponsor or get with a leader or somebody, just to make sure that you're at profit, because that is so important. Because I've had calls where, but where did my profit go? I did this. I said, well, did you use your calculator? well, and that's the thing. It's a tool. You don't have to sit there and try to figure up the 15%, the 19%. I don't even know what the percentage is that because I use my calculator. But it's easier than trying to figure. You might miscalculate and then you end up at a loss. So use your calculator, guys.
Yeah, just don't. What you have in your hands, guys, with this business is you have the shortcut. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't shortcut the shortcut. All right, I'm just a simple guy, and believe me, if there's a way to shortcut it or try to get around something, I've probably tried it. And sometimes you get caught by doing that stuff, and it'll hurt. I could tell you a couple of those stories. I won't, but it's. You only have to have your hand slapped a couple times real hard like that, and you draw that hand back and say, okay, I'll listen, and so, but with the changing, the evolving e-commerce business as a whole, you have so much knowledge and training out there. I mean, practically every day there's some kind of training in the UOP or, Roger's Life, webinars, yet if you're not doing something, and you want to, then plug in and then take action. You got to plug into the system. If you're sitting there saying, why is it not working for me and all these types of things, I'll tell you what, you are the only one that can change that. And, it's a matter of just learning. And it could be a couple of key things. When I learned a couple of just really small key items, use your title builder, use your photo cropper. I mean, and they don't have to be big things. They can be really tiny, tiny things that can make the whole difference between you making, one sale a month to you making, one sale a day. There's quite a bit of difference in profit when you, in one to the other in comparison. So. And it's a lot more fun too, when you get to, sit down and process orders for hours on end. It's fun because you look at your PayPal account and all of a sudden you're going, wow, and it's pretty cool. So, and it's kind of fun to get those extra stars, isn't it, ladies?
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. We actually have another question back here.
Wonderful.
Hey, now we'll get on the roll. All right. So Mike says, do y'all use, he must be from Texas where I am. All right. Do y'all use the listing integrations in the back office since you all have large volume? Just wondering. Me, myself, I do have it. I do have it on. It works for me so far. I haven't had any problems. If anybody's using it and they're having issues or anything like that, then I would suggest perhaps going back and watching that training video that's above it, and just make sure that you're actually using it properly. Because 9 times out of 10 when we have issues back there with some of these programs, it's mostly user error. I know what ends up happening a lot of times is when these new products come out from DSD, everybody gets like freaking excited. And the second that bad boy is dropped, it's just like nobody reads the directions, they just attack it. I do it too. I do the same exact thing too. Okay, so with that being said, I would give it a go in the back. Watch the training again when you're calm. Because the excitedness has died down. It's been out for a little while. Watch it again. Make sure you're doing everything properly. And if you have any problems with that, it's so new that you might want to contact the help desk directly on listing integrations questions if you're having any problems. But I mean, as far as me, I'm using it. Bruce, Adrian, are you guys using it?
Yeah, I do. And I've used it for a little while. I mean, it's only been on a short time, so it seems to me like it's doing fulfilling its purpose. I still will go out and spot check things, and I guess as I have the opportunity, I'll grab a listing and I'll go to the supplier and see if it's in stock. And it seems to work too. But as you get more and more listings and volume out there, that takes more and more time. And but the people but also as you're making more money on eBay, you'll want to protect that income. Okay. So if it takes you an extra hour to go through your listings and make sure that everything's correct, or tweak a title here and there, or tweak a price, or whatever, is it worth it? I think so. So it depends. It's your business, and you're the CEO of your own world. You're the CEO of your own business. So you make that call if it's worth it. But I believe it is.
Alrighty. We actually have the questions are rolling in now.
Awesome.
All right.
Dana, who's actually couldn't make the call, but she typed her question in here, so hopefully, we'll get the recording up and she can get her answer. She is saying, let's see. Now I lost it. Okay, hold on. Okay. When I search Amazon and find items, I often notice that people on eBay who appear to be doing the DS domination test are selling these items for a third or half the cost Amazon charges. How can they be making any profits doing that, and how do I compete with that? That is something you're going to come across. It doesn't matter whether you're selling on eBay or anywhere else. There are just certain people out there, and it'll appear that they're with DS Domination, and they might be, some of them might be, but you never know what tools people have available to them, so people might have an agreement with the company. They might have like a wholesale type account with the company. You just never know where they're getting their items from. And in those cases, there are millions of items out there on Amazon. And if you're finding a product like that where somebody is selling it, for half the cost that you can access it for, then I would say just move on. Move on and grab another product, because for every product that's listed like that, you'll probably find 10 more that aren't listed like that are ready for you to make a really decent profit. And then I will tell you this, just because it's marked down that low doesn't mean that you can't list it at whatever price you want to list it at. When you go to look at sold items, when you go to do that search, I mean, sometimes I sit back and just look at my screen like, why on earth would somebody pay $130, for this dog brush, and then, the person right behind you sold it for 20 cents. It just seems so crazy, but it happens all the time. I would venture to say probably any product that you put out there that you go do a search on and you go to the sold listings, you're going to see a wide range of prices. And, you really just don't get a grasp for that until you physically go look yourself. Roger, if you're on the trainings, the Wednesday night trainings, Roger will actually show you how people will list something like a blender that costs $24 on Amazon. Somebody actually bought that sucker on eBay for like $80.
Right.
Am I off the deep end here, Adrian? But that's crazy.
You're right. It's the truth.
You're on
it's all about titling. It's about titling. If you out title them, you're drawing people to your item just by your keywords, your titling. So pay attention to your titling, guys. I'm sorry, Bruce, if I did. My brain just. I'm sorry if I
Go ahead.
My mouth got to going. I'm sorry.
But I know how that works.
I'm like, but titling, guys, that is key because that's how the customer is finding your items is by the titles. Listen to the training when they teach you about about the titling, your keywords. Tweak, just like Bruce had said before. If you see something that's not selling, you don't necessarily have to take it down because it's something there that's cheaper. Just try to tweak your titling. Move your keywords around. Try to find different keywords. Think like the consumer or the customer. What would you search for when you're looking for that item? So, try to use that third tier thinking like Roger had said. So, I'm sorry, Bruce, go ahead.
No, not at all. I'm kicking back, listening, and learning. I guess a couple of things that I do, as crazy as this one's going to sound, very rarely do I ever look at what other sellers are selling it for on eBay until I list it. Okay? And normally I find that, not always, but normally I find that I end up between somewhere averaged out between the lowest and highest. Okay? But it comes back to it. I mean, I remember when I first started, I was so absolutely befuddled and lost and, and asking myself, what am I doing? What am I'm not selling this, I'm not selling that, I was blah, blah, blah. And I'm in a whole different place today, thank God. But what I actually did was I had, now I'm not telling everybody to do this because your sponsors will just love me for this, okay? But it wasn't my sponsor's responsibility to actually take a look at any of my listings. She just happened to take a look at one, and it was like I had things in there like commas and just space killers is what it was. I had all kinds of crazy stuff in my titles, and if somebody would have wanted to find this solo cup, okay. And no, it's just water, I promise you. But if they wanted to find that, and I had that listed, they would have had to typed in solo dash comma, cup dash something else. I mean, it was just bizarre, And where I learned that from, back to probably not watching enough of the training, okay. And so, they would have never found it. Whether I wanted to charge $1 for that or $1 million, they would have never found it because they're not going to come in there to a store. Think of your listing as a billboard, okay? And think of your listing, okay? If you have the most beautiful billboard on the side of the road, okay, and let's say you had that billboard designed, and before it was ever placed on those two big poles and all that stuff, okay. Think of it this way. Your title, if you have it titled, that beautiful billboard, if you have it titled incorrectly, it's going to place that billboard out in the middle of the forest. Okay? If you have it titled correctly, it's going to place that billboard right beside the interstate where everybody sees it. Okay? And we're on the information superhighway, so so that's the thing. They see that billboard, and they keep going by it, and one day they're going to say, wow, I need a solo cup. And oh, by the way, I need a new computer mouse. And oh, by the way, I need a remote, and I need an eBay calculator, and, whatever, okay? And so all of a sudden, as they're looking at one thing, they see your other listings. And all of a sudden, they start looking at your listings because your titles are drawing them in. It's not the billboard in the middle of the forest. Yours is the billboard on the side of the interstate. So hopefully that paints a picture in your head. Probably, I don't know. It's kind of corny, but that's how my brain works.
That's a good one. So we have one more question out here. John asks, as a pro member starting out, what is a good goal for daily posting out there for eBay?
Well, go ahead, Adrian. Jump out there. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, how I do it is it depends on if you're, how long. It's really the time. It depends on you and your time and your schedule. You can break it down however, depending, because when you first get started, you're not going to be as fast as someone who's been doing this a year. So it's going to be a learning curve. It's gonna take you a little. The average they say is 4 minutes, guys. Is that what they say? 4 minutes per listing.
I remember my first one. I think it took me 4 hours to get
Right.
that stupid thing out.
When you first get started, you're not going to be doing 4 minutes a listing because you're going to be researching and everything. So it's going to take you some time. So 5 a day. Maybe. At first, just to get started. See how long it takes you. It really just depends on your time. Do you guys have anything?
Well, I guess it depends if you're, if you're, let's say you're retired, you don't have a job or whatever, and you kind of have a lot of time, then, put if you have a why, okay, if you have a reason why you're going to do this, and that why is going to push you or pull you, then learn so that instead of it taking, like me, forever to get those first couple up, every mistake you make and every one that you take that long, you're going to pick something up. You're going to learn something, okay? So if you have a lot of time, list more. Make your goal. If you have a big why, if you have an income goal or you want to make 6 figures or beyond, you're going to have to list more than 5. Okay.
Right.
And it really depends upon you. Now, if you're already working 12-hour days at work, the last thing you're going to want to do is to discipline yourself to actually come home and sit down at the computer and list 5. Okay. But if you don't, guaranteed, probably for the rest of your life, you'll be out there working 12-hour days. So it comes back to what Adrian said. It really depends upon you. It depends upon your why. It depends upon how bad you want it. We have people that are, that I know personally that, they've got families, they've got, careers. I have one person in mind. I won't name drop her name, but she's a nurse. She's got kids. They run off the. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about, and and she takes them to football and this and that and the other. Okay, and still finds time to be on the leadership council with us, and she's succeeding in this business. And I admire her because that takes some discipline to do those things. I also know people that they come out and say things like, why isn't this working for me? And you ask them how many listings they have up, and they say, well, I have 2 listings, and I've been around since, April. And you kind of scratch your head and go, there's a reason, So best thing I can say in reference to that is you either live by discipline or let me rephrase that. You pay the price of discipline or the price of regret, and the choice is yours.
Yeah, Roger made Roger made a comment in one of these hangouts, and there've been some hangout, one of the webinars, but he was basically saying that you have the potential to sell about 40% of what you list. So if you're, like you said, Bruce, too, if you're listing 2 items and you want to come back and complain that you ain't sold nothing, come on now. I had to get a little country on you for that one, because that just drives me crazy. If you want to sell stuff, you have to list stuff. People don't just walk into, Walmart and have a whole bunch of empty shelves and they come out with full baskets. So nobody can go into your eBay, your eBay store, not your store, but your eBay listings. If you don't have them out there, then there's nothing for anybody to go buy. Right. So the more things that you have listed, the more opportunities you're going to have for potential sale. Now, mind you, it's highly unlikely that you sell everything, but that comes into the training as well, where you have to go in there and keep an eye on your listings. Your job doesn't stop when you hit the list button. you have to go back in there and watch your views, watch how many people are watching, watching your actual listing, and go from there. If it needs to be tweaked, tweak it. Even if the picture needs to be tweaked, try playing around with your pictures. Put a different picture out front. Play with your titles, play with your dollar amounts. And then come to the realization of this as well. Not everything is going to sell. You are going to have items on your account, and I'm telling you, you can relist that bad boy for 4 months straight, and it will sit on your account. Okay? It's just the way that it is. And in times like that, you have to, as Bruce said, you're a business owner. This is your business. Make the call to pull that listing and, replace it with something else. It's no different than any retail store does when they have items that aren't selling the way that they want to. They reduce them, or they sell them to a liquidation center. They do all kind of stuff to get rid of that inventory. So look at it that way and constantly monitor your account. Only you can make those modifications to your listings. And like I said, just always know that not everything is going to sell. And it doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. It just means that, hey, not every item is going to sell. Try something else. There's plenty more out there.
Well, the great part about that, the great part about that too, is that when that doesn't sell or when that expires, okay, I've said this before if you've watched any of the other Hangouts, but with my other business, which is a snack food distribution company, I have things expire all the time. My average weekly inventory, the investment in that inventory is anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 a week in inventory, okay? Do you think that food expires? You bet your bottom dollar it does. And let me tell you what, that's not fun when you have to take money and throw it in the trash. But with eBay, if something expires off of your listing, guess what? How much did it cost you? Zero, because you didn't buy that inventory, okay? You can either relist it, you can sell a similar, you can continue to get better and learn, and so that item may sell later on. You can just let it go away and find something else. I'll give you a word, just to think of, and this kind of finally sunk into my thick head. But this word was given to me a long time ago, and I was blessed to hear it, and it was in a training. But the word consumable, okay. List something that somebody uses and buys more. Okay, there's an idea for you. There's a nugget. Give that a lot of thought. There's a million consumables out there, but some of you will catch on to those, and some of you will scratch your head and say, "Well, what is he talking about?" Okay, but if you want it bad enough, you'll grab ideas and run with them.
Well, I wanted to explain the five listings. Why I said 5 is because just when somebody gets started, when you say, post 100 listings, it's overwhelming. So the reason why I say 5, that's just to get them started. If it's somebody brand new, just signed up today, that's their goal, is maybe to do 5 and then scale up. Your ultimate goal is to max out your listings. I wanted to explain that, so people are like, why did she say 5? I'll never make any money. But that's just to keep you from being overwhelmed, to give you a goal. You set that first goal and then just build upon it day by day. I'm gonna hurry up, Nikki, because I know you got 2 more questions. And and just keep on adding to that goal daily until you max out your listings. I wanted to explain that, so I'm being quiet now.
No, that's actually good. I mean, because people need to know, max out your listing. That's what it's there for. When you max it out, give eBay a call. Tell them to increase your listing.
Right.
It's a never-ending process. You want to continuously keep adding to your listings. You want to max out. When you max out, you want to give them a call and say, hey, I'm maxed out. I'm having too much fun. Can you increase it? All right. So we have one more question here. Well, actually, we have 2. This question is from Sharon, and she's saying, I guess we have our Hangouts, of course, every week, and when we do that, the previous Hangout goes away. But, say, for instance, you might be on one of those Hangouts, and you want to promote that particular Hangout. In that case, there is a UOP Council YouTube page or channel Okay, I'm getting with the jacked up lingo again. There's a UOP Council channel out there in YouTube that has all of our previous Hangout recordings. And what you can do is just grab the link, the URL from that one, and promote with that link versus promoting with the Unit Hangout link that comes straight to here. And then you should be good. Now, if you want those people to actually have access to the Join Now buttons that we have at the bottom of our video block, then you'll have to use the UOP link that we're on right now. But if you just want to promote with the Hangout link, then go ahead and shoot that video out, like to your list. You can shoot that video out to your list. And, you know, hey, that was an easy question. All right, we have another question from Rachel here. And this is a pretty long one, so take a deep breath. All right. She says, what is the average number of items to be posted before sales? And what is the best way to keep your account in good standing with eBay? So, I need to read that one more time.
Yeah.
What is the average number?
It must have been all over my face. I'm like,
I know, I didn't retain it when I finished reading. I was like, I don't remember anything I just read. Okay. So she says, what is the average number of items to be posted before sales? And what is the best way to keep your account in good standing with eBay?
I think that you need to have a minimum of 5,000 listings, and no, I'm joking with you.
I know somebody just fainted.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm joking, I promise.
Somebody just flatlined.
No, it really depends. It goes back to all the other things that we were talking about. It goes back to your titling, and it goes back to, you know, your pricing, and it goes back to your training. And you know, I know that we probably sound like, you know, parrots. We're just parroting information. Well, guess what? The information works. The training works, and you know, it really depends upon. Go back to what Nikki said. You know, if you're at your beginning stage and they say your listing limit is 10 items, okay, max it. You know, put it up there. Play with the titles a little bit. Get better. You know, you'll have a sale. Okay, all right. So then you call eBay and you say, very kindly, very professionally, they're nice. They're not terrible people. They're not this big bad monster out there. And they'll, you know, they'll just simply, they're either going to tell you, yes, we can. And normally when they list it, or they raise it, I should say, they'll, you know, a lot of times they'll raise it by 75%, or, you know, it might go from 10 listings to 50 or 100 or whatever. Okay. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, when you get those, and it just kind of warms your heart because you know you've done those things right that you need to, and then you're on, you know, you're off to the races, and you go and you continually fine tune your training, and you get better, and then all of a sudden you'll reach that, let's say 50 mark or 100 mark or whatever, and you call back in. Now, what happens if they say no? All right. Well, all that simply means is that you need to get better, okay? You can either get bitter or better, and, you know, it depends on your mindset. And so it's just a matter of continually working, you know, on yourself and continually working on your listings, and you'll get to that point. You'll get to the point where, you know, Nikki's at. You'll get to the point where Adrian's at. You'll get to the point where other people that are just, you know, banging it out there on eBay, and you know, but it takes time. It takes time. You know, think of it this way: if you bought a store, you know, a brick and mortar store, and you opened it up today, you know, and you didn't do a launch, and you know, could you expect 10,000 people to walk through the door that day? Well, no. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, you know, it's going to start slow, and you're going to continually, you know, try to attract people through a variety of different methods. And we do the same thing every single day in this business. And we've given you some of those nuggets tonight. But get better, I should say, not bitter. Get better, and you know, continue to train, and it'll happen for you.
Oh yeah. Just to add on to that, you know, when she said, you know, she asked, what's the best way to keep your account in good standing with eBay? Um, just to expand a little bit, when you go to do your searches in Amazon, you probably heard a couple of times in the group where people talk about doing a dummy cart. That's something that I still do to this day, especially if I sell something from Amazon. And I do have every product. I'm all in, so I have, Elite, Unleash, all that. But there still are products that I like that are key for me, and they're only on Amazon. So I still do sell from Amazon. But when I do things like that, I always, 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 always do a dummy cart, and that's basically just processing that all the way through, but not hitting that final button to actually buy the item. But what that does is it gives you the pretty much best answer you're going to get as far as shipping is concerned. When you get to that last screen, Amazon pretty much tells you, hey, you can expect this in 1 to 2 days, 3 to 5 days, whatever. That way you can know when that item is going to arrive to your customer. If you see one down there that says it's not going to ship for 10 to 14 days, you should know from your training automatically to back and get away from that item, because you can't afford to have that type of a lead time for your items in eBay. Most importantly in eBay is to always be responsive to your customers, to make sure that you order whatever it is that is bought, and if you have any problems whatsoever, Roger has a video out there on what to say to your customer if you have any issues and need to, cancel an order. I will tell you this, do your best to never cancel an order. Okay, that's a quick way to start accumulating dings on your account. Stay on top of your items that you list. There are plenty of spreadsheets out there in the UOP in the file section that you can use to track your items. Don't just blindly list things on eBay without going back and having a record of where you're going to find that item. You don't want to sell something, like you don't want to sell a swing set and then not know where you got it from. When you buy it, the adrenaline rush is already going to be there that you sold this item and ooh, you got a profit, you got cha-ching. But then after that cha-ching goes away, you got to go buy it, and if you don't know where to find it, you're just losing all of that cha-chinginess. You just killed it. So,
yeah, we're laughing because we've done these things.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
So from experience.
Yeah, and that's a sickening feeling in your stomach, I'll tell you.
No, it's an instant way to get a headache, So
yeah.
Do yourself a favor. If you're just starting out, start tracking your products now, okay? Get a spreadsheet, even if it's the most basic spreadsheet. If you want to go a step further, like I said, there are plenty of files that are already out there, existing pre-created spreadsheets that even have the percentages built in. Go download one of those and start using it. And they have a spot in there for your URL so that when you sell something, it's too easy for you to just copy and paste, the link and for you to go buy it. But stay on top of that. So stay on top of your listings. Be responsive to your customers, and try your hardest to not cancel an order. Okay, that in and of itself will keep you in good standings. And make sure that you're always, always, always inserting your tracking information. When Amazon ships that item, you stay on top of it. And when you get that tracking number, as soon as possible, put that tracking number on your listing to show that it has been shipped. The sooner, the better, okay? Which is why I say always do a dummy cart so you know when to expect that tracking. If you don't have your tracking number and it's supposed to have sent 2 days ago, don't just sit there and wait. Start harassing Amazon. You paid good money for that. Call those bad boys and say, where is your item? And you just stay on top of them that way. And if you follow those simple guidelines, then you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So don't worry about any of that stuff. A lot of times people have, stuff happens, that you can't avoid. But if you're doing the right thing and you're following procedure the way that we were trained, then you're not gonna have any problems. Only if you're doing something jacked up. We don't have a fix for that. But if you're following the training, you're gonna be all right. It's as simple as that. You should be all right. If you have any problems as far as getting really detailed in there, the help desk is always there. If it's too complicated for the UOP group, because remember, we're all learning this as well. Some are better than others, but at the same time, if there's a question that's super serious, then you might want to go to the help desk or even call eBay directly, you know. I see a few more questions out there, but we may have to answer those offline because we are, ooh, it's 8:10. See, we started rambling a little bit, but we get so excited.
I will say one thing. This will finish mine off. But no matter what, I mean, interact with your customers, and always keep on the high road. Okay, be professional. Whether you're dealing with eBay or whether you're dealing with your customers, I don't care. There's some people out there, just like real life, okay, that you meet in person that you're like, wow, that you really just don't want to deal with. Guess what? That's life, okay? And they're online too. And online they're anonymous, so they sometimes can be crazier than what they are in real life. And you just take the high road and be professional, and things will work out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, eBay can read every single message that you send to a buyer, and they will read it back to you. They will read it back to you. So they see everything. So stay professional, most definitely. I think we've answered a whole lot of questions in here, and I think we've covered a broad spectrum of topics. So, if there's any other questions that anybody has out there, of course, the group is always a good tool. You can continue to post questions in that thread. It'll still be up there, and people will go ahead and answer your questions. Like I said, if it's a really complicated question, you might need to go help desk. You might need to go play with the help desk. But, if it's easy enough that we can get it to you, then we will answer that question for you. In there, but if you're in the UOP clearly because you're listening to us Babylon, so there's plenty of tools that we have at our fingertips. Use what we have. We've got our other training platform out there. Use the resources that you're paying for. You're paying $19.95 a month for training, and there is training available for you. Rewatch the videos. You're going to get tired of us saying that, but we say it for a reason. So you can rewatch the videos, okay? Go in there, look at the live trainings. I cannot stress enough how awesome those live webinars are. Like I said, have been in for almost a year now. I still go to the live webinars because Roger is forever spitting out something that he's not said before, or he's saying it in another way that clicks for me, So, you never know what you're going to learn. He shows different things all the time. And one of the biggest things that you can learn from a webinar, see, I'm in the babbling on again. One of the biggest things that you can learn from a webinar is listen to Roger. And when I say listen to him, he talks. Like, he talks out loud. Well, duh. But, I mean, when he's searching for stuff,
thinks out loud
to himself. And what you want to do is focus on what he's saying while he's looking on the computer with his little mouse. Don't just be so focused on that little mouse going around the screen. Listen to what he's saying, because what he'll do is he tells you, there might be 20 items listed on a page, but what Roger will do is as he's going from top to bottom, he tends to tell you why he's skipping the items that he's skipping, And when you yourself can grasp the concept of the why he did not click a certain item, you're done. You're done. At that point, upgrade. Upgrade, because you got the secret. Okay, you got the secret sauce. So, go to the trainings, use what you're paying for. Don't just blindly pay $19.95 and not use what's given to you, because you've got $1 million training sitting in front of you. We all started a pro. Everybody who's sitting over here, not everybody now, but everybody who's sitting in Monopoly, as high as Monopoly, started with pro. Now with Genesis, of course, it's standalone, so you don't have to go there. But, pro is there for a reason. Use it, learn from it, use the group, use the tools, use what we have, and there's no reason for anybody not to succeed. I'm going to throw one more thing in there because I can't help it because I like to ramble. But don't judge your success off of anybody else. Okay?
Amen.
You're going to see people posting in the group, oh, so-and-so made a sale after 12 hours. So-and-so made a sale after 48 hours. So-and-so made, $500 in the first week. Those are exceptions. They're exceptions to the norm. The normal DSD does not make a sale in 12 hours. You know, it just doesn't happen for everybody. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing something right. You know, so don't second guess yourself. You know, if you follow the training, just stick with it, continue to list, and keep about your business. Do you. Don't worry about the next guy. You know, make sure that your listings are correct, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for your account. Don't get discouraged because, you know, so-and-so who just joined last week already sold 10 items. She's not you or he's not you. Do what you can do to be successful, okay? We all have slumps, okay? I'm a power seller, but I tell you what, I've gone a week without selling anything, anything. And I wanted to sit back and be like, you know, Lord, what's going on here? But it happens. It happens. It happens to everybody. You know, you can look at the sold listings on anybody's seller account out there, and it'll show you the date that items sold, and you'll see gaps in there. People don't always sell, I mean, not every day. It happens, you know? So just don't get discouraged. That's all I want to say. Don't get discouraged, and don't judge yourself off of somebody else's success or somebody else's failure. Do what you have to do to stay successful. So, Adrian, you got any last words for us?
Amen. What you said is just, that's it. That's what it's all about. You just, you know, keep trucking along, posting your items, you know, do what you have to do to make yourself successful. It's all up to you.
If you fight your way through the times when you think you're going to pull your hair out and lose your mind and all the other crazy things that go on in every one of our heads, and you fight your way through those, and you keep plugging away, and you keep working, and you keep working, and you don't quit, okay? You don't quit, then it could be a month from now or 6 months from now or a year from now, you'll look back and literally laugh like we're doing right now because we remember the silliness and this probably some, I'll be blunt, stupid things that we did, you know, in the beginning, and it's like, I can't believe I did that, you know, but we, guess what, our hearts are still beating, we're still breathing air, we're still moving forward. Are we going to make mistakes in the future? Absolutely. We're human, every one of us, but you know, stub your toe, get back up, and you know, dust your knees off, and jump back up and do it again. And as long as you keep, you know, I mean, look at people like Valerie Mason. She always uses the terminology, you know, failing forward. Well, she failed forward right into retirement now. Okay, now retirement meaning working this business full time, but you know, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, as long as you keep failing forward. So anyway, enough said. We've gone way over probably. So with that, just keep failing forward. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Guys, and we'll post a link somewhere in the group for the recording.
Thank you for watching. For more information, go to the About tab and visit my website. You'll see it right there in the description. It's partnerwithyvonne.com. Again, www.partnerwithyvonne.com.